Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Skaven led by Nerexa coming in with GHORITCH as well as Claw facing off against the Sleepy Lion, who is going to be coming in with the Forbidden Double Lion build. So he does have the two Jet Lines, or Jade Lines actually. So Jade Lines have the Breath Attack, which does a little bit of damage against light armor. It's pretty awful against anything with armor, but I haven't actually really seen it in play too much other than maybe the one time I used it in early access before. And also he does have the Jade Conduit, so this is going to be giving power recharge rate to the entire army, and something that's kind of neat about these lines in general, which makes them a little bit more relevant, more so in land battles, that they do actually give one of the harmonies. So whichever harmony you need, you can pick the line of your choice, whether it be the Jet or the Jade, and you can live it up. Now, Zhao Ming is insanely good. His breath spell is just super strong, the Dragon's Breath, so you just put him in dragon form, fly around, roast the clan rats when you can, chase down characters like Claw, whatever you want to do. And then he also has that massive OP healing item, which clearly heals for 64% instead of 32%, so it's pretty nuts. Jade Warriors in the front. We do also have a couple Alchemists in the bushes, so Alchemists are going to be giving the intensity to the builds with the Master of the Elemental Winds. So lots of crazy stuff for Grand Cathay. And for the Skaven, it's going to be Death Runners with Night Runner Slings. Now, the reason why, before the action really gets going, you bring in the Night Runner Slings is because they do okay damage against, like, let's say, archers or just chaff units that your opponent might have. Let's say a monster that can kind of poke them with their little slingshots. But they're also good fighters in melee. So if they get attacked by, like, crowmen, they do have physical resist and can fight back. So oftentimes you see Night Runners against factions like Chaos, for example. The Chaos player will think it's a range unit, they'll send Hounds after it, and the Night Runners will defeat the Hounds, and it's a pretty big win. So that's pretty much it. So Zhao Ming here, chasing down Claw on the Doom Wheel, and GHORITCH is going to be coming in, the dreaded GHORITCH. I mean, you look at his stats and you think he'd be good. If they gave this bad boy like 10 more melee defense, maybe, you know, he could be a little bit more feasible. But even still, we'll have to see how he does. And Zhao Ming's going to be running away, getting run over by the dreaded Doom Wheel of Claw. And now GHORITCH is going to be doing the diving attacks of Doom. It looks like he did miss. Zhao Ming does have pretty high melee defense at 60, so we'll have to see how that duel unfolds here. GHORITCH does make contact there and does start the long and horrific process of trying to kill Zhao Ming. Certainly not easy. So the Rats have moved up on all the objectives, Cathay, in very much a defensive posture. I'm surprised they're not moving up to contest, especially with a double Jade Lion build. It seems a little bit more focused on getting in and fighting rather than kind of sitting back. But there is going to be a cannon call in. So cannon for Grand Cathay. I could have sworn I saw one in the trees, although maybe I was wrong there. Maybe it was just some other attack. Now we got GHORITCH versus the Iron Dragon here. Is GHORITCH going to have enough steam to kill Zhao Ming twice over? Because that's basically what you have to do in his current state. And it looks like, oh, that's kind of an interesting attack. Oh, that's cool. He like summons a bunch of swords and launches them at GHORITCH. GHORITCH doesn't have any healing. We don't see any Molder healing. We don't see Throth the Unclean coming in to drop some fat heals on him. And honestly, he's not doing terrible against the Iron Dragon, but there's a little bit of cannon support coming in from downtown. So yes, the Grand Cannon was kind of in the tree line there, and GHORITCH is getting smacked up a little bit. And I would imagine the Skaven Night Runners will now move in with their slingshots and start putting some damage down on Zhao Ming, who is going to get afflicted by the Howling Warp Gale. So, no, Cleansing Rune, actually. So he's going to be taking some big damage. And wow, is this going to be a wild attempt of somebody actually trying to kill Zhao Ming in a game with his OP healing item? It could be the case. So we do see another cannonball hitting poor GHORITCH as he does fly back. A nice breath attack there by Zhao Ming. Brutal! And that's so good because of the magic intensity, right? We have all the intensity units on the map. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is. Master of the Elemental Winds, yes. So that increases the intensity there. Looking at the intensity of the spell, it's currently sitting at 130%. So that's pretty damn good. Zhao Ming's just going to solo the entire Skaven army, but, you know, luckily for the Rats, he can't capture objectives and things like that. So the Lions are on the way in. Who let the Lions out? And if they were the Missile Reflect Lions, it'd be a little bit cooler. And I wonder if they're going to use a breath attack here. We'll have to see. Cannonballs keep shooting at GHORITCH from downtown. And these Lions are pretty terrible in my experience. I think in land battle, having one in your box can be good for harmony, but aside from that, probably not so much the case, as the Night Runners do run back, getting absolutely punished by this Jade Lion right here. And the Lion's now going to move over to help out Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming going back into human form, which is very risky. Trying to avoid the Eshin Triads, but I mean, if he gets killed when he's... Oh, that's why he's doing it. He wants to cast the Wall of Wind and Fire. Oh, that's so funny. And it goes through, and it actually does cook some of the Rats, but it looks like the Skaven player Nerexa did see it coming, and Zhao Ming is probably just going to go back into dragon form as soon as he possibly can to make sure he doesn't miss out on the healing. I don't know how Grand Cathay is going to roll without playing the objectives. I don't know if this is some sort of a meme or if he's doing like the Tim the Wilder style build-up or something. Some sort of funny business is going down. But Zhao Ming and the Jet Lions are causing some havoc, but GHORITCH is able to lay a bit of a smackdown here. So GHORITCH does get in. Looks like another breath attack coming in from the Iron Dragon as he does roast more Rats. and GHORITCH able to just dominate that Jade Lion in combat, which isn't a surprise. It's nice to see GHORITCH actually do something, like get in, fight, you know, put a little bit of hurt down on something, and now it looks like Grand Cathay is going to be moving up. So it does look like it was maybe some sort of a build-up strategy that they're going to be trying to overwhelm the rats here with their huge wall of doom. Now, Sleepy Lion is up in value, and the thing is, the value lead's pretty substantial considering a lot of the damage is on Zhao Ming, who's just going to heal the full health, so he's basically not going to count for much functional value loss on the battlefield, right, when he heals up to full. But if we do see a mistake here from Sleepy Lion of not going back into Dragon form, yeah, I mean, absolutely, you could get wrecked here. So Zhao's probably going to want to go back Dragon here. He's steady, but it's getting a little bit dangerous, guys. It looks like another breath attack coming in from the Iron Dragon. And he is able to survive that one. The Cleansing Rune did a little bit of work in tandem with the Weeping Blades. And now Grand Cathay's Dread Legion of Armor is going to be descending on them. Those Lions are just so awful. Oh, God, they're such bad units, dude. They need something. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're so bad. They should be unbreakable. The fact that they can break and run when, like, the Terracotta Sentinel can is, like, the weirdest thing. I feel like Sleepy Lion here is trolling a little bit with Zhao Ming. I'm not sure. Like, the fact that he hasn't transformed back, it must have just come off cooldown and he just heals to full health. That's such a feel-bad situation there for the old Skaven. We'll see if they're going to be able to do anything about it. So up in the front, we got Vixren's Death Squad coming in. Vixrens are quite scary. They do really, really good anti-infantry damage, especially against armor. They sunder the armor down, so they will annihilate these Jade Warriors and these Jade Warrior Halberds. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ikit Claw on his Doom Wheel, rolling dirty. We got Rat Ogres and Clan Rats duking it out, and honestly, pretty strong composition of units there against those isolated Cathay forces. This is very weird for Cathay, too. They're not in a formation. It's like a very wide Cathay playstyle, where they're just pushing from, all angles, which is very unusual. Crowmen being called in. Perhaps the Crowmen give them the confidence, so the Crowmen RORs are very nasty, but again, taking a little bit of damage from the Pebbles. They only have 15 armor, so range attacks can certainly melt them somewhat efficiently. And we do see the Jade Lion in the backfield. It'll be the day when we see Jade Lions actually make their value, and it's a shame because they're so cool. In theory, it should be good here, right? It's got 55 melee attack. It's doing some damage against the Vixrens, but the Vixrens might actually be able to do some work on it too. Looks like that is going to be a Skaven Cleansing Rune going down. That's a very, very nice cast. Going to be hitting a Halberd unit, a Jade Warrior unit, as well as the Lion, who's just kind of teleporting all over the place. Beautiful bombardment going down there from Sleepy Lion. Absolutely nails those Night Runners, and now the Empress's Crowmen going to be going for the kill on Big Daddy GHORITCH, which GHORITCH is, he's not been long for this world. He's up to about a 900 value, which isn't terrible. He's getting in the ballpark of paying for himself, but those cannon shots are definitely going to be super punishing. Now, taking some inventory of the objectives, we do see objective number 1 is owned by the Rats, and most likely will be held for a moment. We do have Clan Rats and some Slingers back here, so a total of about 15 capture weight. In the middle, the Rats, a little bit of a loose hold on it. They do have some Clan Rats here. These Cathay infantry could probably move over and pressure them off. And over on this side, it looks like Grand Cathay was able to wrestle this point back. But like I said, the Vixrens were just able to mow down those troopers. And as long as they can avoid Zhao Ming's wrath, I mean, those things are going to be a menace. Here in the tree line, we do get the old Ikit Claw being hunted by the Crowmen, but Ikit Claw in his Doom Wheel does have 110 armor, so he's basically going to be chilling out. He's living his best life. So Crowmen descending from there, and on the other side, we do see more Rat Ogres moving up, going towards objective number 2 here. Night Runner Slingers throwing their sweet pebbles in. Cathay certainly needs to get on the objective game. They played a very slow build-up style, trying to get a critical mass to overwhelm the Rats, and they could end up paying the price for it, as the points are looking pretty scary. And the value trading is somewhat even. And we do see a little bit of a favor for Grand Cathay, considering Zhao Ming. Ooh, that's actually probably even worse than it looks like, with Zhao Ming being like that healthy. And the fact that they're ahead on value, like there's so much dead value for the Skaven tied up in Zhao Ming, which isn't really going to be changing the dynamics of the battlefield. Rat Ogres moving in, trying to fight on the point. Skaven holding on to this one, so we do have the Death Runners on their way to do battle. The Jade Lions here, still hanging in there. Look at that, 350 value on this 1,000 gold monster. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Look at it. It's kind of performing. It's not doing absolutely nothing. Rats reinforcing the middle. Clan Rats, Rat Ogres, and more Clan Rats anchoring it down on that side. As here in the trees, we do have the Night Runner Slings thrown on away. Ikit Claw being chased by the dreaded Crowmen, and the Skaven are starting to lose out on some objectives here. They're clearly in a situation where they could win on just one, but like Helm's Deeping is not going to be easy for Skaven. The Skaven are going to be able to just get nuked by those breath attacks, right? So if Zhao Ming moves in, gets a big terror route down to the Clan Rats, uses his breath attacks, it's going to be disgusting. So it looks like he goes back into human form right now. Meanwhile, over towards objective number 1, we do see the old Cathay forces holding it down. Yes, Peasant Long Spearmen, which are expendable, but there is some Jade Warrior Halberds, a Jet Lion, as well as the Jade Warriors here. One of the reasons why I think the Jet Lion is better is because it gives harmony to your melee units. So having it up in like a rush build is way stronger than these ones. Granted, these ones do give you the mana recharge, which is nice for Zhao, But the missile mirror isn't irrelevant in this matchup, and like against some Rattling Gunner sneaking up, for example, you could get some pretty good alpha striking. So Flensing Rune going down once again. Nope, not Flensing Rune. That's going to be the Brass Orb from Ikit Claw. Ikit using unlimited power. And closing in on 2,000 value here as his Beam of Doom does nail down those Peasant Horsemen. Grand Cathay still has their cannons in the deep. Cannons, let's see what they're targeting at the moment. I would imagine Ikit Claw's a good target, but yeah, it's a lot of consistent firepower. Nailing down the Rout Ogres. There's going to be a wall of wind and fire here, which is kind of cool to see. I don't know why you would use that when you could just use the other breath attack, but even still, it does some okay damage. Flensing Rune going down from Ikit. This time it actually is going down. And Zhao Ming is actually in a position where he could maybe go down here. Strangely enough, we're not seeing his healing cap thing proc. So hopefully that's just like a visual issue because he should be close to his healing cap, which will probably be represented when he goes back into dragon form. So if not, I mean, if he has some weird bug where he can get around his healing cap, then I'm just going to, he would be banned from tournaments. He's already borderline. You know, I'm watching you, dude. I'm watching you. So here, Skaven rolling forward with the old Rout Ogres, trying to get this point back. And with Ikit Claw's Terror Route, they might be able to. Night Runners, of course, have full capture weight. And there is going to be some Eshin Triads moving in, and Night Runners. Eshin Triads do provide some good AP to the battlefield, but it won't trade super well into baseline infantry. So Grand Cathay, rock hard hold on objective number 3, just totally chilling out. Skaven, of course, on objective 2, but it's a little bit precarious. Ikit Claw is really kind of anchoring that together. Cannon's also shooting at Ikit Claw, potentially going to be able to kill him. And Zhao Ming back in his human form, not sure what he's up to here. I really don't see why he wouldn't just stay in dragon form and just continue causing havoc and terror, but you know, to each their own. These players have their mysteries. They can keep their secrets. Night Runners here throwing pebbles away. Death Runners doing the work of the gods, the work of the Horned Rat, I should say, as they do eviscerate these Jade Warrior Halberds, and also do pretty good against Jade Lancers, especially with a little bit of Rout Ogre support that they do have here. So Night Runners creeping up. There's going to be a little Brass Orb action going down from Ikit, trying to hold on, but the Skaven look like they're going to be in danger of losing the point here as Grand Cathay's forces close in from all directions, and the Iron Dragon continues to hide in his human form while he just bashes these Rat Ogres. Looking at his health, though, he's getting a little bit danger low, but it's not going to matter anymore, I guess. Sitting in dragon form isn't going to save him because the item, you know, I do not believe it can proc again. I think it just has one charge, so that we shouldn't have to worry about. Clan Rat Spears hustling up at the point. Death Runners still fighting very effectively, but the Death Runners could be countered potentially by the Onyx Crowmen call-in. Granted, Death Runners do have a bonus for his infantry, so they can trade well into the Crowmen, but the Crowmen still hit hard and can ambush them, so they would probably be able to get a rear charge on these lovely little rats and take them down. Skaven just barely anchoring onto the middle. Desperation hold, sending a lot in. Ikit Claw running. Skaven don't want to take that army penalty, but those cannonballs from Grand Cathay are quite accurate indeed as the Iron Dragon, yeah, the healing cap appears now, which is good. So it's not going to be a problem, but he's still steady, and the rats do fold off the middle. Currently, the rats would need about 200 more points to win, which is a pretty brutal ask, considering Cathay's stranglehold on the battlefield and that Nerexa is pretty far behind. But I have to say, I'm very impressed with the Skaven build. We didn't see Power Grab, and we saw GHORITCH being brought in. GHORITCH is an absolute meme. He is so terrible. I mean, maybe GHORITCH could be functional against factions like Melee, like maybe Khorne or Nurgle or something. He could be like an assassin that doesn't have to worry about getting shot. But against Grand Cathay, who has like cannons and shit, you're going to have a really bad time, dude. Skaven somehow still holding on to the middle. Looks like some of these clan rats did get up here, but the Lion should be able to move in, and the cannons are going to shut it down. Triads nibbling away, and the Skaven still have a little bit of play on the battlefield. We do see some Rout Ogres coming in. This objective could easily flip. Cathay is a faction that you can kind of play Benny Hill with in the late game because they're not really good at maneuvering between points. Their infantry are very slow, and their cavalry are decent, but not amazing quality. Nothing that some spears and Triads couldn't handle, right? So Skaven might be able to just flip this objective, and I don't see any Cathay response. And yeah, I mean, they're not too far off the victory. They need about 160 more points, which is a fair amount of time. That's a little bit over 2 minutes on one objective, which is a long time. But, you know, I guess the push and pull of it would be that the rats go for the ninja on objective here, and then they go for a back cap with a bunch of wolf rats. So you like save up 1,500 points, you call them 3 wolf rats, and you ninja the other side. There's little desperation plays like that that can work for sure. So Triads clearing off the scraps. But the Lion has come in, and now the Crowmen have descended upon them. And these are Triads, which are anti-large, so it's not going to be super relevant against the Crowmen. While these clan rats trying to wear down the peasants. Overall, rats desperately trying to get the objective. We do see the breath attack coming in from Zhao Ming, who is somewhere around here. I don't know quite where he went, but I would wager he's around on the map. On the other side, the Iron Dragon's looking a little bit worse for wear, sitting at about 1,000 HP. We do get the Chieftain coming in. So the Skaven Chieftain is out, and is Ikit Claw still in the battlefield? I think he is. But when Ikit Claw dies and or flees off the battlefield, looks like he's being escorted by some Jade Lancers right now. It will trigger the Power Grab ability, which is how it's supposed to be used in a fair manner. And that's going to be giving Skaven +8 leadership on the battlefield, which is a really cool mechanic. It was certainly designed cool initially, but just the buggy nature of it is unfortunate. So Crowman holding it down, man. This is going to be really tough for the Rats. Looks like they're Desperation pushing on all 3 points. The fact that Zhao Ming's kind of on death's bed is something. Icket Claw has just been killed, so there will be an army penalty for the Skaven. If you take a look here, you can see -16, but Power Grab is going to be augmenting that a little bit. So, you know, Power Grab will sauce them up with +8, so it helps to kind of ease the pain there. Rat Ogre's fighting away, but Crowman are actually pretty good against them, especially with Peasant Long Spears. In the middle, we do get some more spears moving up. I mean, Cathay doesn't have a whole lot. We'll do a little bit of fast forwarding. I'm trying to think how the Rats could do it. They are getting some momentum on this side. We do have a nice Cathay pocket, or excuse me, Skaven pocket of Slingers and Rat Ogres, as well as the Chieftain. So those bad boys get to pepper down the Cathay forces. Zhao Ming going back into human form, and will he be able to hold it? Okay, it looks like they might be able to flip this one, guys. Granted, some horsemen coming in, lots of Desperation Rats. On the other side, we do see some Clan Rats fighting, but Cathay does have several infantry units in pretty healthy state over on that point, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Now the question is, can the Skaven win on just the 1 point here? Because it looks like they're barely going to get it, but I don't know, they could get knocked off as well. We have a full health unit of Jade Halberds coming up. Skaven do manage to flip it, and Zhao Ming is dodging shots. He's at about 1,000 HP, very, very close to going down. Crowmen who are on death's bed moving in, and the Skaven are just sending wave and wave of unit here, guys. And I don't know, it kind of looks like the old Rats might be able to pull it out here. It's going to be absolutely wild as the Iron Dragon is forced back. This game looked like it was really over. I was like, man. But all it takes is a little bit of Skaven tenacity. All you have to do is just kill Zhao Ming twice over, and you know, then you're good. So he's currently sitting at 2,900 HP. Cannonball shooting downtown, and that bad boy is going to be getting into combat. And, you know, the Dragon Twins all have crazy good leadership. But Skaven do have good swarming holding power. I mean, Clan Rats aren't the best leadership, but yeah, I mean, they can get up there and they can set on that objective and anchor it down for quite some time. All right, so maybe the Rats do this. Absolutely insane. Grand Cathay is going to be hustling over, guys. And we do see, if they reach 1,400 before they reach, yeah, no, they're for sure going to get it. So, yeah, Skaven will win on 1 point. They absolutely will, because the score is more than twice there. So Rats getting roasted a little bit by Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon. Capture weight flipping back and forth, but Zhao Ming does break at the last second. Onyx Crowman being sent in while the Jade Warrior Halberds and the Jet Lions fight. Did the Jade Lions actually get their value? It's a shame. They're so cool on paper. They're so cool, but yeah, anyways, look at those claws, man. Looks like a little bit of friendly clawing there as it does take down some of those units, but yeah, they're very rad. Kind of has like animations like a cat almost, I guess it's a lion, so that makes sense. Skaven trying to hold a little bit of pressure. If these Jade Lions did cause terror, it basically would be game blouses here. As the Skaven are getting danger close to winning. Grand Cathay swarming in from the sides. Clan Rats moving up. Iron Dragon, this is a really smart play by Sleepy Lion. Move back in there, get the terror out, and then you potentially just like instant cap that objective, right? Skaven are not trying anything on the far side. We do see some Slingers moving in. Here they do have ample holding forces, so I don't think they're going to have too many problems there. And with the terror routes coming in, we'll see the Skaven are pretty close to being terror routed. We do see the terror route here, but 2 more Clan Rats arrive, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Lancer is going to be on their way in, but Clan Rats do have a lot of bodies there. They have 160 bodies. Those bad boys going to be able to hold in. Oh my god, it looks like it's going to be a Rat GHORITCH victory. I was not expecting that today. I really wasn't. But is it going to flip? Okay, am I crazy? I don't think they're going to be able to flip it, guys. We have another couple seconds here. Look how close the score is, and I think the Skaven just barely get it. Oh my god, they're getting forced off the objective. Wait a second. 5 more seconds and it would be different. And the Rats win it with the GHORITCH. No power grab play. What awesome, awesome stuff. Now, both players brought pretty suboptimal builds. We have GHORITCH and we have 2 Jade Lions, which are just absolute shithouse units. But it was still fun to see. I think if these guys had been Jet Lions, it could have been a bit different, because of the fact that they would have provided melee bonuses to the Cathay army, which had no harmony at all. So I think that would have been a little bit stronger for this playstyle here from Sleepy Lion. But even still, it was very fun. GHORITCH got 900 value, 2,800 on Icket, and all the little Triads and Death Runners running all over the battlefield. It was very fun. Cannons did their stuff. They always do. GG, well played to these mighty champions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Always fun to see some off-meta stuff. And that is going to be it for today.